the neighbor, I don't think, so I don't have a problem. And I just kind of, yeah, I agree. Particularly since he was saying he gets a lot out and the building there. That when the school, oh, he did. Yeah, didn't we refer to a couple of things? I think that was good. Okay, is there a motion regarding retaining an attorney for the purpose of Smith and Klein land, potential land transactions?
Yes, I'll make a motion to engage John Hanson as our attorney.
Jim Strong.
I'm sorry, Jim Strong. That's why I had it confused.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
Yeah, Jim Strong for the express purpose of working with to help us settle the purchase of the two properties that the town approved at his quoted price.
I'll second that.
Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, so while we're on this,
Are you gonna do
Yeah, let me
a
do.
motion for Kristen?
oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll also make a motion to authorize our town attorney and our CEO to negotiate a consent agreement for the with the property is School Street property. In accordance with the discussion that we had.
Can I ask for a friendly minute to say a possible consent agreement, because it still has to be approved by the board and a court.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, I think we told her, did you say you?
I think we need to vote on it once it's finalized. That was the impression I got. Was that the impression you got?
I thought she
No,
was gonna bring
I
it
thought
to
she
the
was
sign.
gonna bring it.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay, all right, but it
Because
still has to
actually
be,
a CEO.
but it still does have to be approved by a court.
Not the
Did
consent.
she say?
I think
No.
she said we weren't gonna go to court.
No. this is
Okay,
the court.
all right, then forget it.
Good.
Okay,
So
is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. All right, further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And Terry, maybe you can put the actual number School Street in the motion, too, just, that's what I was looking for.
I don't.
Because I think Jeff was looking for the number.
Actually, looking for the actual address.
23.
Okay, I think that's important. Okay, and. Okay, now. Just staying on the land, you saw my memo regarding Doug Beck. I don't have a lot of details, but when he heard about this, he said, oh, you really should talk to me. The problem with this is we can only, as I understand it, we'll learn more on the 6th. Is that we can only have one of these grants at a time, and we haven't finished and closed out the one we currently have. And can we pull this together with the grant if we're gonna go after the tennis courts and so the time, it's gonna take time, and whether or not we have time with Jeff Smith is a question. But I think it's worth having a conversation.
I absolutely.
Yeah.
And it may be. That, it doesn't end up being money for the trails, but it ends up being, we actually apply, if we apply for this grant, to actually recoup some of the cost for the Smith property, and the town, what the town raised could be matched, and then we wouldn't have to pay as much. So, I mean, there's lots of, it's a tangled web that he wants to sit down and discuss. So I guess he is available at that time, so I guess the next question is, do we want to make it a selectmen's meeting or not? And then that, I guess, depends on whether you guys are available.
When is it?
If you want to attend.
When is it?
the 6th at 4. And he's a busy guy, so I was lucky to kind of get that time out of. I'm available that night and he is that evening. But if 2 of us are gonna attend it, we need to post it really tomorrow.
I mean, I'm available.
Would you like to attend? I would actually prefer it if it wasn't.
Okay.
I can attend
Okay,
now.
okay, so why don't we schedule a meeting? I've got 100% confirmed with him, so let's get it posted, and if we cancel it, we cancel it.
So on the 6th at 4 o'clock.
And why don't we also, just to make things simple, post it as a select board and conservation commission meeting, because I think we may end up with more than 3 of them there.
Do you think like an hour and a half?
I'd say an hour and a half to be safe. And again, it's not 100%. I may call him back and he may say, oh, I'm sorry, I had to, so. Because he was trying to do it quickly, because I said, oh, we need to move fairly quickly on this, but there's also, I think Catherine also had some other potential grant money too, and I'm hoping that maybe, he's aware of that, or it's sort of like kick the can around, how can we make this work? Or potentially work.
Look, John, what do you want the agenda item to be?
I think just pledge of allegiance, adjustments to the agenda, public comment, and then discussion with Doug Beck from Maine Bureau, I'll give you what it is, I can't remember, Bureau of Water and Land Conservation regarding Smith property.
Water and land conservation.
Yeah. Regarding Smith property. And this may go nowhere.
It's
And
worth investigating.
It is, but on the other hand, I also don't want to mess up our tennis court plan, because I
Right.
think we'd have to do it. He said we could do one big grant and include both in this.
Yeah,
And he also said it might be a good time if we want to unencumber this piece up near the street, which I think we perhaps should.
Yeah.
We can weave that into it because we would be donating
land from the.
land from. That would become encumbered.
Right.
So, and, and I think this is a weird piece to have encumbered personally, up here, right on the street. I mean, if we wanted to down the road build. I don't know, whatever, a library.
A lot of your.
Whatever. So, okay. Terry, you had an adjustment for Mindy?
Yes, it's in that folder right there beside you, Bob, that needs to be signed.
Yeah,
so I
we
can
need a
send it back
motion
over.
though to.
Yep.
Authorize you to sign the
I think
engagement.
one of you have to sign it too.
Okay, so is there a motion to authorize Terry to sign as the management signature and me to sign as the governance signature for the audit engagement? How much did her fee go up? Or did it?
It didn't.
Oh, that's nice. And she does a good job and she's quick and in and out of here, and you're
Yeah.
still happy with her, and
Yeah.
and she's helpful throughout the year.
Yes, very.
Yeah,
Very.
it doesn't charge us extra, right?
No,
If you call her.
no.
If you
Very
screw
good.
something up in the accounting, she helped her get it back.
Yep.
How can you beat that?
Okay, so moved.
I'll second that.
That's that.
Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And she's scheduled to come the 18th.
Yes. So if you sign it, John, I'll sign it now.
I'm signing it right
I'll
now.
get it to her tomorrow.
And you can fill in David's title. Here it is right here.
Also in that folder to be signed is the lease. The stump dump lease was never signed
Whoa,
for
That's right.
Prethrow that you approved, but no one ever signed the lease.
well, we approved it.
Yeah, and there's one other thing in there that I cannot remember what it was.
Food sovereignty. ordinance?
Yes, the ordinance.
Yeah, do we, I'm not sure we need this. But you do. I don't know.
I looked
We
through
need
all
to,
our
we need to
ordinances.
sign it.
Some of them are signed and some of them.
Well,
aren't.
we need to sign it. When it's technically, when it. As a true copy going to town meeting, but once it's voted on a town meeting, I thought it was simply the clerk's job to say. Approved such and such a day, true
I looked-
copy attest.
I don't think we signed it prior to.
I looked at,
I don't think it hurts to sign.
I looked
it,
at
but
several and there's like.
I think it's just superfluous. I don't think it's gonna hurt anything, but. But I think the key is that you sign it
And I have that on there too. I think it's on the last page.
and attest. When it was approved, because the date's important,
Yeah,
particularly the zoning ones, the dates can be critical.
Thank you.
Because zoning ordinances, the date can be,
So,
very important. Okay,
okay, so the main real estate thing we don't need to do.
now we're just gonna get that to Jim, right?
Okay, yeah, right.
And, but if Jim says initial it, we're set to go with that. I mean, yeah, good. All right, and then Terry, you wanted to talk about, you finally got an estimate from Ed.
yes, so to carry over from building and grounds, there's not quite enough there left to cover this estimate. I think that was like $1.
Well, it's probably a little shorter than that, because I bought a piece of pipe that ran this afternoon, so now it's probably $20 short. Sorry.
That's right.
I did figure out why that was overflowing and flooding the.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, the downspout, was clogged almost the entire length of it. We had this little tiny residential downspout on this gutter that's like this wide, this deep. So I went and bought 4-inch pieces of PVC and had made a new downspout. It doesn't look great, but it's gonna work. But I needed another pipe, so. So, okay, I'm getting us off track. So so this was the estimate to do, the second one is to do the downstairs, correct?
Yes,
And the first one is to do everything in the fire bay, including the electrical outlets that David's been asking for, correct?
yes,
And replace all those old fluorescents out there with LEDs,
yes,
which should save us money over the long haul,
yes,
but it'll be a long time.
yes. But they'll be able to see out there.
Yeah. So what say ye?
Will we authorize the expenditures to update the electrical and finish updating the electrical in the building?
And we'll have to carry these funds over,
Right, and carry the funds.
and we're still gonna be $30 short.
So you're
Yeah, and
gonna
you're
authorize you're gonna authorize the balance of building and grounds to be carried forward for Ed's.
And authorizing Ed to proceed with this work
Yep,
sometime after July 1st, which is fun.
Right. I don't think we have to worry about it getting here before that.
No,
no,
you had a hard time getting this out of them.
yes,
You were hoping to get it done before. Okay, I think we should do it too. I mean, I think those lights up there, plus their old fluorescent bulbs. And fixing them is expensive, so, and these are,
I know, but great.
yeah, I mean, in the office, the first day I come in there, I was like, whoa, what happened? Are we, further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. And was there something else you wanted to talk about, carryover?
yes. The streetlights maintenance, we have $1,500 budgeted and we still don't have that streetlight fixed. I know we have money budgeted in this year,
The next
next year to do it too, but it's very expensive, so I'd like to carry that forward too.
In case we have another one next year.
Right, so we can get Elm Street fixed with the money that it was supposed to be fixed with.
I move that we carry over the money.
I would second that.
And further discussion? All those in favor? And while we're on it, I think this is totally unacceptable,
I agree, I agree.
huh?
It just doesn't make any sense to me.
And I think maybe we as a board need to write them a letter. And say, you know, we entered into this contract and, I mean, we have a contract with them, right?
With Headstrom, I
Yeah,
don't know. There's
but you weren't here.
No, they were-
those messes. and
But
I-
they were scheduled to come down, but then Cameron had a big job, so they went there. Is
Well,
that,
this is like
That's-
fifth time now.
That's right.
And you know what happened down at two? That was the same thing at the school happened, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they kept canceling.
Yeah.
So finally, we just did it outside of,
something different, yeah.
yeah, I mean, they are just totally inept.
Yeah,
I hate to say it.
non-responsive.
I don't know if it became too big of a job for them because it's, you know,
They're not
Camden,
too much work.
Rockport, Rockland that did all this all at the same time and
And they got them all, right?
and we just had one little light we're worried about and, you know.
We're not big enough for them to worry about,
Right.
basically.
Well. If the board would so authorize, I would be willing to draft a letter basically saying that, we expect better service.
Yeah.
Or something along those
Yeah.
lines. Okay,
Or how many times, you know, they've
Yeah.
scheduled and canceled.
yeah. Okay. Is there anything else?
Yes, July 3rd.
Oh, yeah, there, oh, yeah. Well, I'll tell you where I stand, I personally hate to see us closed, but on the other hand, if we are gonna close, I think people need to take a vacation day.
I agree.
So, and I don't know how they feel about that,
They're fine with that.
and how do you feel about that?
I'll probably work from home. I got I got leads to get ready and. You know, I work half a day from home or I'm fine. I'll take whatever I need to take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we're closed a long period. I mean, we're closed Friday, Monday, Tuesday. And I don't know, and then we close half day today.
Yeah. They're still
That-
here, but
That's a lot in a small timeframe. You know.
Who's still here?
well, they're probably
No,
gone
she's
now.
saying that they're.
It's 5:01.
Right, that they
But they
were,
weren't open.
No, they weren't.
Right.
But they answered the phone and.
Yeah, but I mean,
Good.
just in the short time I was here, I saw a couple of people
Yeah,
come
I
up.
know, we were
And now
busy.
we've given no notice, and I can see
Yeah.
those people showing up again Monday, and we're closed again without notice. I'm talking myself out of this. How busy do you think you would be? Well, if you're the one person that comes back for the second time. Um,
To be honest, I just don't see a lot of people being. I think a lot of them are gonna take the day, well, they're gonna take the time off.
yeah, they might say, oh, I'll do some of
Today's the
that.
day I can go into the house.
yeah,
How do you feel about it?
I don't know, Rockland called us yesterday and said, we changed our mind, we're closing too.
Oh,
Oh,
Rob,
it is?
Yeah,
All right, well, that changes.
and I don't know, I have mixed feelings about it. We aren't open a lot, but then again,
Then
it's
again,
a Monday.
the places
before a
like Rockland
holiday,
are open on
and they
Friday.
Had all weekend, are they gone, are they, you know,
Yeah.
who are we gonna have?
but to bring up a point, the other towns aren't closed on Friday
Right,
or Thursday afternoon. And I know they had to work Thursday, don't, I
Yeah,
understand
Yeah,
that.
oh, I understand what you're saying.
You know, and I mean, I have no problem at all if one of them wants to take a vacation that day. I mean, but that's your purview, not ours, but, I mean, I don't think we need more than one person, do you?
No, probably not.
Huh?
You can never predict. I mean, some days I think, God, we're gonna be slammed and
Yeah.
nobody comes in. Other times you think, well, this will be a slow day and
On the other
everybody
hand-
comes in.
everybody.
On the other hand, if all these other towns are closing, I feel,
that's how I feel.
you know, like, why are we mistreating our employees?
And I think sometimes the people here on the news, the states shut down and it trickles down. They just figure
Yeah.
towns are closed
Yeah.
too, but
Can you, I mean, we gotta get some sort of notice
Yeah.
out though, I mean, post it in the window and
Yeah.
now it says July 4th, it doesn't say.
right, but I asked Hannah to make us, Make a sign
In
to put in the window
anticipation.
before I left, just in case you guys went for it.
But it needs to go on the website.
Yeah.
This service.
Yep.
Is there a motion?
Yeah, I move we authorize the town administrator to close on Monday the 3rd. And employees to take a vacation day or PTO. PTO is doing. They're all vacation versus.
So in other words, they have to take a vacation. Yeah. And you said they're okay with that?
Yep.
Okay. Because sometimes people, see, we'll second that. Sometimes people say, no, I don't want to take a vacation day. I got a trip planned. And, you know, I need those days.
Well, you'll make them very happy.
You
You'll make them very happy.
should have said that in the beginning.
I don't put pressure on you. I mean, I don't think it's a big deal either way. If they had to come in here on Monday, there's plenty of things.
Yeah.
To do just the. Clean that closet out if we're not busy or.
Downstairs.
There's always something to do.
Yeah, there's always something to do, but
Okay.
I understand how they feel like. Other towns are closed, why aren't we?
Yeah.
I get that too, but
Well, now that Rockland has changed their mind, I guess. Okay, further discussion? All those in favor? Okay. Anything else? We good? So you'll do that agenda and I'll email
Yeah.
Sandra and Henry and say, and that way anybody who wants to can come from that group. Is the room available?
yes. At 4, yes, at 4 it is. At 6 o'clock, the library
on the 6th.
community people are in here.
And I just wanna say one quick thing before we go to. I don't know if you know, but there's a catch basin down by Atwoods that plugs a lot and we dig it out usually once a year in the fall and then. For some reason, it's plugging more often. And we dug it up in the fall and when it rained this last weekend, it was like Lake Erie down there. It's in the Atwoods, it was overflowing into the co-op.
Yeah.
And, so I didn't know what to do and I talked to Jimmy about it. He says, you really need to get one of those vacuum trucks. He says, I just can't get my guys down in there deep enough to dig it out because I gotta go by hand and he doesn't have a truck. So I called Tom Luttrell this morning to see if, because Jim said they had one. And I said, Tom, is there any way I could hire your vacuum truck to come down and clean this out? And just left him a message and then about 11:30, I got a message back and he said, I can send a truck down there this afternoon if you'd like. And I said, oh, thank you very much. Now, I told him to pay for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they went down and they must have sucked out 7 feet of silt in this catch basin.
Oh, wow. Wonder if it's clogging.
So I'm hoping that they solved it. But my point is, even if it didn't, I just wanted you guys to be aware of how cooperative they were. And again, pay, they're gonna pay them for it, but that's understandable. I mean, so I was happy with that. So
What do they do with all the stuff they sucked out?
it goes into this big tank. I don't know. But it's just junk, silt and blah, blah, blah. So, and they worked hard getting the cover off, couldn't get the cover off, and then finally, Travis Thompson's brother, what's his name, Corey?
Yeah.
Came over with a forklift and put tension on the cover with a chain and they banged at it and they got the cover off. But I hate to get them all the way down and we could get the
Yeah.
cover off, so. Plus we burned the brush pile yesterday.
Yeah, I heard you were doing that.
Huh?
I heard you.
Yeah, so. Anyways, okay, huh?
I know.
So the 18th, we're gonna have a big agenda.
Yeah,
So,
The first thing is elect the chair, don't forget to put that in.
I think we do that at the end.
No, we do.
so planning board and permits. Do you get permits first or planning board first? Or does it matter?
No, the planning board issues permits. Permits
Okay.
come from,
But
except for
you
the
get,
ones that the CEO does.
but even if you got a permit from the planning board, you would still get a building permit from the CEO, right?
in most cases.
Yeah.
So if somebody comes to the planning board, say, the thing like School Street.
We're still recording, you haven't adjourned.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's all right. Yeah, is there a motion to adjourn? Well, without objection, I can say it one last time. Is there a motion to adjourn? So, I mean, so done, so degree, so degree.